Friday night at 7:30. Welcome to the Whiskey Roundtable. We are your hosts.
Big Jake.
Karen Lobe.
Bourbon Bob.
Sidecar.
Hey.
Sidecar in the... What do you say?
Sidecar in the house.
In the house.
Alrighty then.
Welcome.
And we have one of our guests that does the show a few times, Jimmy Falb.
There he goes.
Jimmy the Chips. Jimmy the Chips.
Jimmy the Chip Bradley.
Jimmy, thanks again for doing the show. We always have a good time, man. We always have a good time. You're a good guy, man, for sure.
Yeah, thanks, Greg, for coming out last week. That was another good show, too.
Greg as well. Yep. Greg, he had a great time.
Yeah, hopefully we won't see the last of him.
We're not thanking you next week, just so you know.
Oh,
we're not.
great.
Okay, don't get excited.
We're not doing what next week?
We're not thanking him.
Oh, we
next
won't.
week.
Yeah.
So
You're fired up now.
So what I like about Greg is he's been searching for the Holy Grail, and he got it.
Yeah, there was. He walked out of here with a nice parting gift of the Holy Grail because the last musical that we did at the Chanel was Spam-A-Lot. Mm-hmm. And it just so happened that Greg had a Holy Grail to give to Greg.
There you go.
And it's probably holding the Holy Hand Grenade for Easter.
Oh.
So hopefully it was on his Easter table.
He when I brought that down and he looked at that Holy Grail, he was just like, you could tell the emotion in him. The emotion in him, and I said, "That's yours." And he's like, "What?" I go, "That's yours. That's where it needs to be. It needs to be with Greg. Doesn't need to be in an Italian house. It needs to be in an Irish house." So anyway, cool stuff. It was a good time.
We have everything in this house. If you want something, it's like, wait a minute, let me go get that.
You need dirty underwear? I got it.
Well, we can put that in the vending machine.
Oh,
That's a great idea.
Yikes. All right, that's the show.
That's awesome.
That was a record, I think.
What are you guys doing?
Selling underwear.
Heinz chocolate underwear.
Ooh.
Too funny.
On that note, we have, which I can't believe you had to remind me, an Indians show tonight. There's still Indians. I don't care what anyone says. I can't call them the other name.
Yeah.
Opening day is Monday.
Right.
And we are going.
Yeah, this weekend here in Ohio is quite exciting. There's the Final Four of the women's basketball going on. Yeah. Monday we got the Eclipse and the opening day, the home opener for the Goulardians. That's who they'll be for me.
There you go.
The Autorama is this weekend, the Piston Power Show.
Oh, I haven't been there in years.
Yeah, no, that's this weekend.
Where's that
That's
at?
one of my buckets. It's the
IX Center.
IX Center.
Yeah.
They used to do it downtown Cleveland.
Convention Center.
Yeah, probably my buddy Kevin Moore will be out there doing some pinstriping out there for charity. So
nice.
Hey, maybe we can, if we have time, go run and see that or something.
Yeah.
If we don't get too liquored up tomorrow, sorry.
We're talking a little bit about donations, so to say. So I just hooked up Reverend on a bunch of eggs that every year that he can't find. So I got him 1,000 eggs.
Nice.
Were they from here? Some of them, I hope.
What's that?
From our house.
No, why?
The little plastic eggs.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I got a ton more he can have.
Oh,
Well, I'll take those. My wife would like those too.
perfect.
Okay.
I mean, I got
Shoot.
I got him 1,000, and they're like 90 cents a package, and there's 96 in a package.
Say a piece.
Wow. They better have a little liquor bottle in every one of them.
So anyway, if we have time tomorrow, I might hit a Target place and grab some more for him. But anyway, we donated that to the church as well. So he's all happy.
Let's see how many we have, because I keep finding them everywhere. Because it's like every year when the kid was younger, it's like, oh, we need eggs. I can't find them from last year because I must have hit them really well. So I go out and buy more. Well, I keep finding them now. They're little plastic shopping bags filled.
That's the best thing about losing your memory.
That's it.
You hide your own eggs.
You hide your own Easter eggs.
You find them.
I'm
find them at Halloween.
I'm working towards that right now. Believe it or not.
I think we all are.
Yikes.
So, geez, I can hardly even remember my name. But anyway.
Yeah, but there's a lot going on this weekend. So
how was Easter, kids? How was Easter?
I'll let you know tomorrow because we're doing my family Easter tomorrow. Just because my son's gotten married now and he's got a significant other. They do their thing. My daughter's in from Philadelphia.
Nice.
And I get to pet sit my little grandchild, if you will.
What is
little
it?
grandkitty.
Duck. Yeah,
Oh, it's a
yes,
kitty.
I knew it was an animal.
little grand kitty,
Nice.
and she's adorable. I fell in love with her immediately. So
Awesome.
I have a new therapy animal at home.
There's a
Jimmy,
joke
how
in
was
there, but
your
I'm not saying
Easter?
it.
What'd you
Good.
do?
Spent with the nieces and
Nice. You got good. You got good nieces. They're good people,
ham
man.
and turkey. They just my oldest niece, getting ready to close on their first house
Oh,
Oh,
congratulations!
congratulations.
Awesome.
That's cool.
in Ellet.
Ellet.
What do you mean?
Where's Ellet?
That's Ellet, where the house is at. That's in. Is that Portage County?
Uh,
Ellet.
Yeah, we
Ellet's, Ohio. I've never heard of that.
Never.
Oh yeah, Ellet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
I'm from Summit
Negro,
County.
yeah.
Just like Sidecar keeps saying, Youngstown, New York. Youngstown, New York.
Youngstown, New York.
Is that how you
Ohio? No,
New York.
right where the Niagara River Lake Ontario, New
Ellet
York.
is near Stowe.
So it's not that far.
Yeah, it's not that far.
So to leave New York today, I had to pay because you can't leave New York without paying now.
You have to
Oh, yeah.
pay.
I thought
Oh,
that
yeah.
was like Jersey. You
No,
can't-
no, New York.
Jersey,
You
you got to
have
pay to get in and out.
No, now you have. If you leave New York, because they don't think you're coming back, you have to pay.
How,
Well, because people are leaving in droves. But anyway, we won't get into politics.
this isn't even like the turnpike you have to pay. This
Well,
is,
yeah, but
Oh, okay.
if you want to leave now, they want you to pay.
Before you pay to get in, and you didn't, and on the way back they let you through. But now it's pay and then pay. So
So it's like putting a scale at the end of a buffet, and you
Yeah,
pay how much you
yeah.
how much you ate by how
I
much
don't know
you
if
ate.
that's in yet, but it's coming.
don't give them any ideas over there in New York. Okay?
well, hopefully it's not too much that you had.
No, but
But still, that's insane.
So what are we smoking, kids?
I have the big G660 again. 'cause
G660
I love these. I
Relevant
love these. The
cigars.
Relevanas.
What do you got, Miss Karen?
You know what? I don't know. This is an acid. I know that, but it has a 20
Okay.
on the label. This is one of the ones that Karen
Okay. Yeah.
got me.
Yep.
So, and it's very, very good. Very good.
Not a flavored one, or is it a flavored one?
Doesn't taste really flavored, but it's a nice smoke from acid. I like it.
Nice.
Doesn't not like the Cuba Cuba ones,
Right.
where it's got like that vanilla to it, but it is kind of sweet. So,
I'm smoking a high clear. I'm sorry, I put my glasses on because I can't freaking read it. Sorry. High Clear Castle by Victoria. So it was. I stopped at the Joe Vaughn's and because I needed a cigar, and one of the reps was there, so he gave me the cigar to try. So that's what I'm smoking.
very nice.
and I've got Fuente Hemingway.
Fuente Hemingway.
Fuente.
Yeah,
As an earnest.
Fuente.
Fuente. It's very good.
Nice. What do you got, Chips?
Believe it or not, this is a Maduro. The guy who owns Weedig's Floral Shop is rolling his own cigars now.
Okay.
And Mark Burr got me this.
Nice.
Oh, man, actually,
Mark knows
it's-
his cigars, man.
Actually, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I bet. Awesome.
Okay, he's rolling his. And where is that, Jimmy?
Weedig's is right there in Chardon, right there on.
It's on the
what is
square,
it,
isn't it?
Center Street? No, it's on Center
Oh,
Street.
it's on center. Okay.
Across from where Joey's and all that is at.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay,
Now I know where that's at. Yeah.
No,
cool.
Cool. Awesome.
Kind of close to one of our new sponsors,
Yep. Johnny's Grill.
Johnny's Grill, which for after show, before show,
Right.
we did their fish
Fish fry was
fry.
fantastic.
It was
Kurt was still bragging about it the other
Awesome.
Yeah,
day.
that was a good meal.
He says, "Man, that Johnny, he can cook." I was like, "You ain't kidding, man." So I can't wait. We're gonna do a commercial for them,
Right.
and so we're also we logged in with them for at least once a month. We're gonna have them cater our food because they've done that in the
Darn.
past. So it'll be. Remember, I did the Big Boy burgers. Oh my God!
I'm waiting for those.
Those
That's
are
gonna be.
fantastic.
I had that, didn't I?
You did.
I don't know one.
They
but I
were
had
We
it.
had them.
They're huge.
Yeah, remember I took pictures and I sent them to you. Me and Karen, that was a couple
I ate
years
it in
ago.
the car, didn't I?
Yeah, you ate it.
you couldn't wait to get
Nah,
home.
yeah. I think I ate that one in the
The
car.
car was looking. The dog was looking at you like.
Get away.
He's flipping the
There's
dog.
not enough
That's
for
it.
both of us.
And I'm going to give a nice prop to you. You did your first Facebook reel this week.
I did.
It was, it was posted to his private page, but he did a first Facebook reel.
That's
I'm
our mascot.
Really proud of you for doing that. That was a big step for you.
Jimbo is our mascot.
So he put Jimbo up there, and so that was.
I'll probably do more. I mean, I love both of my dogs, and Bruna's high maintenance. She's a good girl. I call her Boo Boo. because she had she's really come a long way. We spent a lot of money on her to get her where she's at. So, and then Jimbo is just, Jimbo.
He's a good mascot.
He's a good mascot.
He's a good mascot.
When you came in today, Ralph, did Bruno remember you?
Oh God, yeah. Brought out a toy.
Yeah.
Brought out a toy, looked at you, brought it right up to you, then you went to reach for it, and she took off the other direction.
Exactly.
Yep.
She almost tried to get in the car with you the last time
Yeah.
you were here to go back home.
Oh, Boo Boo, she's such a good doggy.
Ava
She's
had
gonna
a pro-
be
Ava
what?
had a problem with that one.
3 years?
She'll be three
Three
in
in
August.
August.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, we
Another
had-
English bulldog. Yep.
She's had a lot of tough times as a puppy, and I won't get into any of that. But I'm glad that she is where she is. She can run and play now. Before she would drag her feet, man. She'd drag her hind legs, and so I love to see her the way she is.
I feel like I'm dragging my hind legs.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. As long as they ain't in the air.
Or pinned behind your ears.
Hey now! Oh, that was that one doctor visit that I don't want to go back to.
You should.
Strangest dentist I ever went to.
When you said that to Bob, you should have saw the look on Sidecar's face, man. Like, oh
Oh,
no.
I missed it.
Listen, I live in New York now. It's like
Nothing surprises
yikes,
you, though, right?
yikes.
Oh,
Too funny.
That is great. So we started talking about our sponsors. So I'm gonna
Good. Yes.
throw this picture up here of some of our sponsors
Sure.
that we have. We've got Royal Havana Cigars,
Yep.
which we're enjoying their
Yep.
products.
Yep.
Rawhide Firearms with Mark.
Mark
We haven't
Castro.
seen him. We've got to get back together for breakfast
Yep.
at Cracker Barrel. Would
Yep.
be wonderful.
We love going there. He's such a good dude, man. I love that guy.
Rayon Cognac, of
Ray on
course.
the boys.
I remember that.
You're gonna have to get a hold of them again.
I tell you what, they were like the first. We brought them on for the first show of this year, 2024.
4 or 5 years ago, I remember meeting them.
Correct.
Great guys.
Great.
Yeah,
people.
they're really good.
We had a blast. They brought a lot to the show too, believe it or not. That was a great show. Absolutely a great show.
And of course, Village Martini.
Village Martini.
I
Right
know
there
him.
in Chagrin.
Yep.
And it's all about the Experience Barber and Shave Company
Yep.
up there in Solon on Miles and Richmond
We have to go get
Road.
our shave, man. We do.
Yeah,
You're
you
gonna
guys-
love that place too.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful spot.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a
Clean,
hold-
beautiful.
Yeah, we're gonna get a hold of Lisa and get her to
Yeah.
get us a commercial together too, because
Yep.
that it is. It's a man pampering place, man. I love it.
Yeah.
I love Manhattan.
Yeah, it's a great place
Then
to go.
you'll like all the guys that shave you too. So
Oh, hey! Thank you. That was our show.
no, I'm busting chops.
Anyway.
All right, kids, we got a whiskey show.
Yeah, we got a whiskey show, but we should probably learn more about Ralph.
Oh, boy.
Because we got a couple new viewers out there.
What'd I do?
Well, you didn't do nothing. We just want to know who you are, what you're doing, and how you started drinking whiskey.
Well, since he got out of jail, so tell us.
Yeah.
We're celebrating his
The
parole.
whiskey. Well, back in the day, you could only get a certain amount of whiskeys. Bourbons you didn't really know much about. Right? So Jack Daniel's black label I call it. That was
The original.
That was my go-to.
23.
You could get
Like 5, 6 years old?
yeah in the late 70s, early 80s. So go back.
Dating
you know,
yourself, dog.
Yeah, back when Jack Daniels was still alive.
Yeah.
And
And dirt was new.
yeah, there was,
Dirt was new.
we were talking about this. I said what happened was that you had, just like beer, distribution was really limited. So you could only get certain kinds of whiskey. So Jack Daniels was very available everywhere. You get anywhere in the bars. I mean, I tell like Bullet or anything that you get today, you couldn't get anything else. So it was cheap. We were
Right.
teenagers and a little bit older sometimes. And all my friends, we drink Jack Daniels. So the story goes, I have a friend, Dennis Draper, his home, he's actually out of the Lewis and Buffalo area. So they had a big porch, and what we tried to do is we tried to fill up the rafters all the way around this big porch.
Oh, jeez.
Long story short.
And that was
when
a 5 back in the day, right? So you had Wild Turkey, you had Jack Daniels, you had Jim Beam. It was just a group.
But
just a
Jack
small
was
group.
it. So you
Buffalo
drink Jack.
Trace,
Yeah, it was a way to go because you could get it. So 18 you could drink. So we would go through 17, 18. You could go and get it.
18 bottles.
Oh yeah,
All right, just
bottles.
18, you could have
Bottle.
liquor.
Yeah,
whiskey.
liquor.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Canada was right 5 minutes away, but Canada was a little different with the liquor laws. So it's a funny story. When they sold the house years later, they were cleaning out the house, And I went there, and I couldn't believe the whole thing was full of empty bottles. I'm not talking like 10 or 20. So I'm sitting there going, we drank that much? Like, yeah, back in the day, that's what you drank. We would pregame because the bars are open until 3, 4 o'clock in Buffalo. Okay. Depending on what part, Niagara County, Erie County. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you go across the border. Long story short, as you went through, then you got in, I started in the 80s, like cigars, I was traveling, so I'd smoke cigars. I got into cigars, drank the whiskeys. Then I started getting into bourbons a little because I traveled more.
Was that the time that you got pulled over by a female police officer and you were naked walking down the road?
Whoa!
Which one?
Which time?
Yeah,
that's a whole different story. Go ahead. But that's a great story.
We got into this thing, and I said, well, let me try some other stuff. So as you could travel different areas, you were trying different beers and different wines and different everything. Distribution wasn't like it is today.
Right.
So then I would start finding something, and I'd go back home, and which was in the time Buffalo, and then I moved here, and I started finding more, and I got into bourbons.
Right.
And I didn't really know what a bourbon was, but I liked them. So, normal stuff where you could find in a bar, certain wines you could find in a bar, certain beers you could find. Now distribution started opening up, and you could find more. As you found more, your palate was a little different, and you started getting into, and you start having more money now, and you say, well, let me try this out, let me try that one out. So I got into bourbons, and then I started going through and finding, in my travels, you go to distilleries, you go to breweries, you're trying out different things. Then all of a sudden, all hell broke loose, and you could get things everywhere. And so down in New Orleans, my family is now like a beat of beer, a beat of Springs, a little small place, and all of a sudden distribution, you get it up here, you get it everywhere. So just like the beer distributors, the bourbon distributors and whiskey distributors could go, and you get a lot more choices. So then I started getting into more and more, and when I moved here, it was in the late 80s, I started getting into more bourbons. I drank gin too, so I got into more gins, and gin's coming back. But I liked bourbons, and I liked a lot of rye. So I really liked rye because it was more of a flavor, a lot more flavor. So Jack Daniel's Black I still was go-to because of availability, if I couldn't find what I was looking for. And then I started finding more and more bourbons I enjoyed, and the palate changed. And right now I'm like a lot of Buffalo Trace. I'm pulling away a little bit from Buffalo Trace products, getting into other products now because I've matured in what I like.
Sure.
And I try a lot more different and I tell people, I said, my son gave me a bottle of whiskey from Cincinnati. It was 126 proof, and it drank great.
Yeah.
It wasn't really hot.
A
It
lot
was really
of new
good.
distilleries, though.
And it wasn't Kentucky. It was outside Kentucky,
Sure.
just like like
Illinois,
Jack Daniel's.
Indiana, Colorado, all those.
Colorado's huge.
Texas.
Tin Cup.
Sure. Tin Cup, sure.
California, Nevada. So I have friends that would travel all over the place, and I started getting into all their stuff because I said, where you get this bottle? So then all of a sudden I'd have a bottle. Next thing I know, it's in the liquor store. So I said, you got to try this stuff. So now I'm back in Western New York, and I belong to a Viking Cigar Club where we have bourbon and cigars on Wednesday nights.
Right.
Then I bring a bottle usually of something different. And their palates are usually, Jack Daniel's. So I said, well, let's try this one, or let's try that one.
Sure.
And as you guys know, I know people in the liquor business, so
Sure.
I would get bottles these guys haven't, really tried out, and they're trying it, and I go, that's a $20 bottle, that's a $25 bottle. So I don't like spending $150 for a bourbon.
For something that might drink for $20 in their marketing, as we know, and I've been burned a lot of times with marketing. You gotta, man, this is the best bottle ever, and you taste it and you're like, either pour it down the drain or you make a Manhattan or
those are the ones you just give to people you don't like.
So,
here, try this one. Here, try this one.
Well, we like when you'd entertain or we'd go someplace, we would go through, and I would always say, gee, so let's bring Jim Beam Black.
Right.
Which people go, Jim Beam. I go, yeah. And if I covered the label on the booze I bring to parties,
Yep.
and I just pour it, and people don't know what it is, they go, this is really good. I go, it's $30 or $25.
Right.
Right.
I had a story about Jim Beam Black, and I was invited to go hang out with some guys, and they all brought their big dollar bottles and all that stuff, and I bring that Jim Beam Black, and they busted my chops, and I was like, well, you're not drinking it, I'm drinking it. It was one of the things where you could drink whatever you wanted to drink, but I was comfortable with my Jim Beam Black. Well, they got through, and they came over and said, they're coming one at a time. Next thing you know, the whole group's there, and they're like, all right, we want to know what this Jim Beam Black is all about. Every one of those guys has it on their bar today.
Nice. It's a good pour.
It's a short story.
So let me ask you this. So you must have a nice bar collection at home,
If I don't drink it.
Right, but so, okay, well, that's the question.
He doesn't like to look at it.
So you don't like to look at it, you do share it.
Yes.
What is your go-to right now that you're currently, if you go down to your bar, you have your choice of all yours.
Oh, yeah.
What's the one that you have to replace more often than anything else?
The one thing I buy cases of is Canadian Club Rye,
I was
Yes,
just gonna
which is
bring that up.
$19 a bottle. That everyone tells me
I have 3 bottles left.
And that's good stuff for the
it
price.
is unbelievable.
It
because
is.
Canadians make great rye.
Yes, they do.
They make anything they have.
and it's 100% rye, which
Yeah,
is
right.
great.
It's
Which is-
really, really
I don't
good.
know if we did one on the show or not. I think we did.
I think we
I-
pre-gamed with it or something.
Yeah, I
You
don't
might
know.
have
We
poured
should,
it.
we
Fantastic.
should do one, but I know you probably want to get more bottles.
But I mean, that one drank much better than the Sazerac, I
Right.
think.
And I'm asked, you're gonna see. I'll drink something. I'm like, nah. Now today I may not like it, and tomorrow I like it. Or today I like it, tomorrow I won't. It depends on which. I'm smoking cigars.
Right.
What's going on?
Right.
Right.
And so what I'll tell people, I'll go back to a bottle I don't like, and try it again.
Which you should always do.
And sometimes 3 times, 4 times, I say, I'm not really crazy about it. And what happens is I'm fortunate enough to try it. So what's on my bar now? Angels and Envy's been a.
That was one of your favorite.
It started out when it first came out on the market. Henderson came in, who was they were getting their whites done in Illinois. I forget who the company was back in the day when they didn't even have anything in Kentucky.
Right.
And they were putting in their cask there, and it was just a great drink. And then as I got through, and I like it, I still go to it. Some days I like it, some days I love it. The rye is just unbelievable. But then it's $99 a bottle. Sometimes they get it for $80, so that's on.
Yeah, it depends on they have a $50 Angel's Envy. They have a $100, so to say. They have the rye, which drinks more like a cognac, which is really, really good. And then they have the one that they do every year. That's a great bottle. Karen bought me one of those. But anyway, long story short, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Let's go back to Jack Daniels.
Sure.
So now Jack Daniels in the last few years has been coming out with a great rusted rye,
Their
which
single
we've
barrel
had here,
rusted rye. Oh,
which was a small bottle we tried. You brought in Rusted Rye 1. We tried it here. Mm-hmm. At the time, you couldn't find it. We checked it after we drank the whole bottle. It was over $500.
you made me sure that we were going to look for something,
Right.
But we wanted to try that.
So we tried that, and I found a place in Niagara Falls that had Rusted Rye 2, and they had cases of it. No one bought it. Then
$45 a bottle. Those bottles back in the
No,
hold
back in
that
the
thought.
day.
But Karen bought me the first bottle, the first run when they put it out, and it was $150. So as time went on, I don't mean to interrupt you. As time went on, what are you doing, honey?
She's fine.
Just talk.
Okay. If you're looking for the rest of the ride, it's gone.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Darn it.
All right.
Okay,
Go
never
on.
mind.
Sit down. Nothing to see here. So
Move
anyway,
along.
long story short, my brother in Texas, he brought me a bunch of bottles. He brought me probably 10 or 12 bottles of Rusted Rye for $40 a bottle. Now,
can't get
if
it.
you can't, it's no longer.
No, you can't.
So then they came out with Sinatra. They came
Correct.
out with a lot of different. I haven't even been through their whole, because the price points for me, it's now your $45, $50, $60. If I take it on in cigar night, what happens there is that a lot of people will sit there and drink beer.
Right.
Then sometimes they'll sit there and they'll take a taste of it. Next thing I know, the bottle's gone.
Sure,
A $100 bottle of bourbon's gone. I'm like, what happened to it?
Right.
Well, I really liked it. So then I started bringing in.
I don't have those people at my house anymore. But anyway,
Yeah, so
you always wanted to come and drink, but nobody ever brings anything. But anyway, go ahead.
Excuse the
yeah,
reach.
and we long story short with that. So on my bar at home, I'll have that. That's my go-to. But I'll have G will fix me up with stuff with here. Travelers, I'm trying that out tonight, which I've seen we can't get.
Really?
It's funny because here the selection of alcohol I like, bourbons I like, for the price points is a lot cheaper.
Sure.
So there, it's trying to get certain things, and then what would happen is if you guys can't get it, then I'll sit there and go, taxes and everything's a lot more.
Right.
So long story short, with that, so I'll try that, and Jim Beam Black's one of my go-tos.
Yeah, that's good.
I still have that. And I still have Angels, that, and the Canadian Club Rise, and that's probably my go-to because if people come over, I pour it, and if they're not real bourbon people, and not whiskey people, and they try it, they like it. It's easier going, easy drinking for them. But when I get into something with higher proof, like I was telling you, 126 from Cincinnati, some people will try that and they're like, well, this is really good because it doesn't have the heat, doesn't have the spice.
Right.
Well, it sounds like you're going to be one of the good people to have here tonight to try the bottle that we have here. So you seem to have a good knowledge of your background.
So I want to ask you with the Canadian Club Rye, because you can't find it here in Ohio anymore. I don't know, is it available in Buffalo, or do you actually have to go into Canada to get that now?
No, it's up in New York, in Canada, and a couple other places. If you remember correctly, so like when for Easter Day, Stephen brought out the Canadian Club Rye
That you had brought there.
from a couple years ago because they don't drink alcohol. He likes scotches, but
Jimmy.
But anyway, that was the medicine bottle, the old square bottle.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, do you want to take that home? I said, nope, put it right back where it belongs. When I come over, I'll have some.
Awesome.
And we did sample some of that. But that was another thing about the Canadian Club Rye. People are like, how much? And it was like $9 back in the day. And then Ohio came in and said, we're taking it off the shelves. So...
And I'm curious, do you have to go to like the duty-free stores to get that? Or it's actually just at your local liquor stores?
So what happened is the big stores will carry it, but it goes really quick. Usually, it depends on the smaller liquor stores in New York. They get allotments too. So what I'll do is if the liquor store can have a good connection with Canada or their distributor that brings the Canadian, products over, I can get what I need. But at the same time is that when I go to some of the bigger stores that have a lot of high-end stuff, they'll go through and they don't have a lot. They put in what sells. So if people don't know what that is, it's they don't carry it a lot. But so to answer your question is I don't have to go to Canada to get it. The duty free though, coming across the borders, if anybody does that, they have a lot of stuff. So I was just in Washington D.C. They had a Jack Daniel's blue bottle there, and I don't even remember what it was called. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it because I was coming back into the States, and that was a couple weeks ago. And I've never seen it. I still haven't seen it. I don't even know what it is.
Ooh.
For some reason,
It's a light blue bottle.
For some reason, and I might be wrong. I don't know if Nort is Nort on the scroll.
Yes.
Nort, did you have the blue Jack Daniel's bottle? Were you the one that had that bottle? Let me know. I'm almost positive he has that bottle.
So
it was good.
Yeah, they've been coming out with a lot of products. So I'll go back and hit, like the Buffalo Trace, like Travelers and certain things. Now I'll have Buffalo Trace, just a regular bottle.
I like a regular bottle of Buffalo Trace.
But I've always liked, and we've gotten spoiled with store picks. Store picks is totally
Store pick single
different.
barrels.
Totally different.
Amen.
Totally different.
Whole different drink.
I tell people, I said, you can put the two together, and I'll go to the store pick every time.
Right.
And
Go ahead. It seems like the Jack Day. It seems like it's a single malt, is what the blue label is.
Yep. And then so what happens is that you have so much variety now. So now what's happening is you're in your bar, you try to go through and you say, okay, what am I going to do if I'm going to sit out, because I'm by the water, I sit down, I'll have a cigar, I'll be outside.
Yeah, you're right on the river too.
Yeah, so
you look right across to Canada.
I looked to Canada.
Yeah, sure. You got a beautiful spot.
Thank you. It's
beautiful place.
So people come over, my neighbors will come over, what do you drink here? We'll try this out. So I'll try more expensive bottles, but I keep going too. I want to find something under $50 if I can, a bottle.
Sure.
And go from there. So I tell people, I go, it's all your taste.
Price doesn't dictate quality.
Nope.
No.
Period.
And your taste is like tonight. I'll tell people, I'll smoke a cigar, and I'm like, not crazy about it. You just go through with it, and I'll hit a cigar, and people say you don't buy boxes, and I've smoked cigars for many, many years.
Oh yeah.
So I'll go through and I'll try a cigar, I'll try a whole box, and I'll sit there and go, I get bored with it. So I'm trying something new all the time. So tonight's a great example. I've tried 2 or 3 different products.
Right.
And I'll go through and say, now I'll go back to Buffalo and I'll say, okay, where can I find it here? I can't find it.
Right.
And you know
even
that.
the big stores. Huh?
Yep, even the big stores.
Well, and before you leave, I want you to try what we drank last week, which is that Woodford Reserve 121.2.
Right.
That's a good bottle.
That was a really good bottle.
That was awesome.
That's a rare bottle. Only comes around once a year, and there's only very limited here in Ohio. And we'll tell that story after the show. But anyway, go ahead.
And so long story short, so we find certain liquor stores that will carry, if you go in, you do business with them, and you really like a product, they'll order it for you because they know you're gonna. And I'll tell them this will sell. So I brought in the Canadian Club Rye to a small liquor store, and it's selling all the time.
Nice.
And I said, this is a great drinker, and it's $20 a bottle. And she goes, yeah, I'm selling a lot of it. I go, yeah, once you get it, people try it, which I'm sitting there going, this is bad because if I go in there, they don't have it. But she buys enough that, I can get it. So
Sure.
Do you get stuck in the bourbon aisle? Like I usually go in the liquor store, I get stuck in the bourbon aisle because everybody will come in. Because I'm just standing there looking at stuff, and everybody's standing there looking, and they're the same thing. Is like, what are you looking for? I'm just looking over here at this one. What are you looking for? Well, I'm looking for this one. I said, well, that one might not want, but I'll let you know. And
Well,
I can't go into a liquor store.
Ohio's brought a lot
Yeah.
of stuff into Ohio
Yeah.
in the last 2 years. I mean, overwhelming.
Yeah.
And that's good. That's
And they're
good.
constantly bringing
Sure.
more in. I mean, like for St. Patrick's Day, they brought in
all the Irish.
They brought in a
whiskeys
bunch of
and all
Irish
kinds of
whiskeys.
stuff.
They're about ready to release a whole nother bunch load for spring.
Can they please allocate it to Northeast Ohio in more than 1 or 2 bottles?
Well,
That's my wish.
that's a wish.
Here.
But that's when you can go to the OHLQ and find out where it's at, and then you can go to Kent to get your bottle.
Not to hold you up, on the 8th, Monday the 8th, they're doing the spring thing where they have the Woodford birthday bottle
Right.
and Elmer T. Lee and all that other stuff. So we're gonna have to jump into that. And I'm gonna probably have to make a run to New York here pretty soon.
Maybe
so.
since Kentucky Derby is coming up around the corner, we can
Correct.
get a bottle of the Kentucky Derby Woodford and try that one.
Oh,
There you
I'd
go.
like to do that one
You
too.
know,
So
maybe throw a mint julep in there and make a cocktail too.
Yeah.
Hey!
well, it's funny. We went to a liquor store in town, and I said, I haven't had this in years. And I said to G, I said, you remember this one? He goes, yeah, it's good. So I haven't had that in 5 or 6 years.
Which
So
one was that?
What was that? JT.
Jinx.
JT.
Here.
JT. It's
JTS Brown?
JTS.
Yo, that's a nice pour.
So I found it. I have not seen that in Western New York. So I said, okay, I'm gonna get that. What was it? $20
$20.
Yeah, $20.
$19.99.
$19.99. I'm like, okay, great. And so I'll go through and I'll sit there, and when I'm in a group of people, depending if they're bourbon drinkers, is what I usually will bring out. So I'll have certain bourbons that I'll bring out. Depends on what the group I'm in. More sophisticated, you have certain things. Sure.
You hang around with sophisticated
some-
guy?
Sometimes you don't want to bring out your big bottles. You just want to have a cigar, relax, and drink something.
Oh, yeah.
Buffalo Trace or whatever. Something that's not going to break the bank. I like that. I like to sit on the porch and, many times, me and you and a couple of others, Chips, the whole 9 yards. Bob will be there this year, whole 9 yards, Karen. And we just like to sit back. It ain't about the price or who's got the better bottle. It's just what you like to drink.
Yeah.
100%.
And here it's great is because you have such a variety. So if you're in a certain mood for a rye, a certain mood for this, it'll depend on what I'm looking for. We were talking about Jameson. Jameson's another one that I'll go through and couple different products out.
Black
I'm looking at it
Barrel's
right
fantastic.
now. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. And
Visit
like
your
sometimes,
grandfather's bar.
sometimes a cold
There's
brew.
a bar over here?
That's a grandfather.
The cold brew I'll have. I'm sitting there going after I ate. I'm saying, I have cold brew.
Oh, that's good in your coffee on Sundays.
Yeah, and I'll drink it in coffee, which
Or Monday?
Which he will tomorrow.
That's a funny thing is the coffee shop across the street from me. He doesn't drink, and you're not allowed to have booze in the place. So there's a bottle behind his
Oh, I'm
thing.
sure.
And so we call it Ha Ha Coffee. So
Okay.
depending on what's going on, if it's holidays and stuff
funny.
like that, there's hot, we call it haha coffee. So people go, what are you doing? I go, haha coffee. Like, what? And I'm like, you want to try it? And if Cheese Man is here to tell you, that's what we learned with me when we used to go on all the football games
Right,
here and stuff.
right,
I used to have a
right.
thermos of haha coffee.
Because you go, ha-ha. if you
Yeah,
drink
it
it.
would be
If you
haha.
drink, you're like,
It'd be haha.
It goes from ha ha to woo.
Back in the day when the high school kid, because you're living in all the sports in high school, you're sitting there going, I don't know, how am I going to how am I going to pregame and do this in these, just like football games. Okay, it's high school. It's cold outside. You're freezing.
Right.
Well, let's have some hot coffee.
There you go.
And that's the thing is everybody usually puts Bailey's in there. You don't knock it, man. A bourbon and a coffee is quite delicious.
Yeah.
Like
it
a hot
is.
toddy, you know?
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome.
So let me roll to a scroll here. We have a very active scroll tonight.
Okay, what do we got, kids?
We got Rico, Joe D'Amico, Justin's out there, Rebecca, Rob up north.
Rob.
Up north. I'm
Up
sorry.
north.
Up north.
Up north.
Up north.
I'm going to get it right one of these days.
Did he say anything about that or no?
No.
He
Rob.
is drinking Traveler, though. Tonight.
He was thinking it was a Sinatra, but he's drinking Travelers. Cousin Joycey is out there.
Awesome.
Rebecca?
Rebecca.
All right.
Rebecca's out there. Congratulations, Rebecca. She's going to be starting somewhere new soon.
Awesome.
Justin K.
Yep.
Justin.
Justin is one of
Justin,
Rico's
yeah.
good friends.
Yeah.
G-Dub is out there. He says that his...
G-Dub.
where did I lose that at? He had the Holy Grail is... it sits on his desk in his office, so he sees it every day.
Awesome. Awesome.
So that's
and
on the
Robert
scroll.
Woods just joined and
Oh.
says, hey.
Hey,
everybody.
Robert. How you doing, big guy?
Dan couldn't make it. I think he went to Arkansas or something. He was hopping a plane. I was talking to him today, but anyway, that's Rico's buddy.
Oh, Danny? Yeah.
Danny's good. Danny's a good dude.
Arkansas.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's in Arkansas?
His company,
job.
his job.
I'm
yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
trying to make fun of
Walmart.
I know.
Bentonville.
Right?
Bentonville, Arkansas. Yeah.
That's right.
FedEx, so.
Too funny.
Anyway,
Anyhow,
Awesome.
should we pass out some bottles and?
Oh, is it
do-
whiskey
I
time?
think it's a whiskey show. Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
You don't have nothing else
because
to
Ralph
say?
is just so quiet. He
I know.
doesn't
I know.
like this. Doesn't like
Hey,
to talk.
hang
We
on a
had-
second.
it was like pulling teeth to get a conversation
well,
out of
and,
him today.
and
so.
what cracks me up is that you keep saying the same thing that Greg does, and it never is. But you say a long story short, and then you keep talking for another 20 minutes.
But my stories were short today.
Oh my
Oh,
god! It's only
wow.
because Ralph was talking. You couldn't get in it.
But
Well,
it's
I
good.
like to hear what Ralph says.
So that would be the new viewers introduction to Ralph. So
I
So,
want
Ralph-
to say I give Ralph his creds, man. He knows what he's talking
Yes.
about.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
beats my 2-minute Al Pacino Dura story.
Hey.
I know where I'm back. I know why I'm.
Oh, by the
in
way,
audience.
Scotch? No.
no.
You're not a Scotch fan.
Not a peaty guy.
So, we talked about the oh my goodness, Frank Sinatra bottle. Excuse me. So anyway, long story short, we ended up buying another bottle, and we're going to do that on the show.
Yes, we did buy another bottle
And if I'm not-
recently.
And then I didn't realize I already had another bottle. You had that with us before the show. We ever did the show.
But if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Jack Daniels is going to discontinue the
they
Sinatra
are
bottle.
Correct.
supposed to. That's
Because
why we
I
picked it
guess
up.
they're bringing a bunch of
Well,
the
I have-
bottles back from overseas,
Okay.
and they're repricing them and selling them in the States. So
So
if
I,
you like
I
that-
have one of the first original Sinatra bottle way back in the day, and that was, I don't even know if we were doing the radio show then. either,
We were, but
we?
yeah,
Okay.
I had picked that up because,
So.
because it's Frank.
But we should do one. I mean,
Well, we're going to do. I think we're going to do a Jack Daniels show where we'll go back and revisit the regular blackjack and
Sure.
maybe some of the other ones that they're put out.
Sure.
Just like visiting Grandpa's bar and start with the basic and go back up to the discerning palate.
Pinky's out. Pinky's out.
Pinky's out.
We should all have our own little flights,
That would not be a bad idea.
That would be good. We could try them all.
that's
But,
not a good idea.
Yikes.
But
Nice.
anyway,
What do you mean?
I want to be on that
that's
show.
not a good idea.
And absolutely.
I want to be on that
right.
show.
All right, but
Absolutely.
while we got it going, if you guys are on the scroll, like and subscribe to this podcast and video here. And
I hope you guys liked my reel.
Yes, and get comfortable with the whiskey roundtable at gmail.com. Send us your comments and suggestions, please.
Can also
And-
get there through our website.
Get there through our website. I was going to get there. We're going to be updating that one and keeping that one rolling. And I believe next weekend we are going to be out and about helping.
Yeah,
the
I don't.
Cleveland Bourbon
We're not going
Co-op.
to be. Are we doing a show next week?
We were planning on
Yeah, we
it.
were planning on one.
Okay.
Unless you have something that you know.
Well, I'll reach out to either Steve or Mark, and we'll figure that out.
Okay. But yeah, so we got some things in the works, and things are moving and shaking.
We're moving
and,
forward, kids. We're
Some
moving
really
forward.
exciting things
Oh, yeah.
too. So yeah, we're
Yeah, we'll talk about that later in the year of what we're putting together. But anyway, I don't want to talk about it because it's.
no.
I'm not the lead in it. So, or I should say, Bob is not the lead in it right now.
No.
And we're gonna surprise you guys come midsummer.
Hopefully.
So anyway, go ahead.
Yes,
Hopefully.
yes.
But yeah, so next weekend you said we're doing the Cleveland Bourbon Co-op thing.
Yeah, there's
so
a Cleveland
do
Bourbon
you want to
Co-op.
give a little info about that?
That would be a more on a Greg side because I just know that we're going to show up and we're going to be pouring.
Yeah,
over
we're
there. And we're just going to be helping out the
Sure.
co-op with one of their charities.
right.
The Bourbon Co-op does a lot of great charities over the course of the year, and their fundraisers are bottle shares and auctions and stuff like that.
So they're gonna
be
put us
working
three
at.
together.
Right.
Put us three together. But we did. So the whole thing with that is, we didn't. Merle, how everything went down. I'm giving you the very short story. Cleveland Bourbon Co-op has their own thing, and Merle was going to make T-shirts, which he did. The guy that runs it, and something got screwed up in the us. So I put it in there for three of us, and it didn't go through for whatever reason. So they were going to give us a shout out, but they couldn't because of the T-shirts. But at the end of the day, they said that we could bring and wear our Whiskey Roundtable shirts. So that's what
Perfect.
we're going to do. So.
And
So we're starting to get out there and about there. So
Yeah,
if you guys
we-
want to go to the co-op website, get some tickets for that, come out and see us. I might have a couple of stickers to give out because I just got a new batch of stickers in. And if you want a sticker, hey, send us an email with your address. We'll send some out.
I'm going to be putting these on cars over the malls and stuff, so you guys know I have.
You know, the cozy coops on the playgrounds.
Yeah, right on the
Absolutely.
windshield. I think it's a good spot.
There
for
you
them.
go.
right
there
on
you
the
go.
gas pumps. you know.
Gas pump, yeah.
But this is called the Wild West Whiskey Fest, and it
Right.
is at Gordon Green at 5400 Detroit Avenue.
Correct.
And that is next Saturday,
Right.
April 13th, and it is from 2 to 6. You can go to whiskeywishes.org to get tickets if you'd like. It's benefits sick children and the Special Wish Foundation.
Right.
Make a Wish.
Yeah.
They
Foundation.
do a great deal, man.
Yeah.
Great.
Great
yeah.
thing. So, with that being said, should we move on and do some sampling because
I
my
don't know. I
glass is
thought about
empty?
we just hang out and talk all
Oh,
day.
we
I
can do
really
that.
don't care
We
about
can
any
do
of
that.
that. You know, it
We
is
do
what it is.
I would just like to say that Ralph and I have put a good dent in that travel.
Yes, you have. But I wanted to get to this one because this bottle here is so dark. The color on this is amazing and it's really teasing me.
It is. So this is Wolcott Rickhouse Reserve, which I've never heard of this
I
before.
have not either.
You said cheese.
Oh, geez, he's him and up north are the man.
They were able to find this for us. So I find that this is sourced by BTD, which is Buffalo Trace Distillery and Sazerac.
Correct.
And it actually,
Parent company, right?
actually comes out of the 1792
Right.
Right.
Barton,
Parent company.
Barton Distillery.
Yep.
And it's also got connections to the Clear Springs Distilling Company. They used to be owned by Jim Beam, but Buffalo Trace
Bottom.
did buy them out. You're right. 1792, which I did not know, they're named after the year that Kentucky became a state.
Yep. Yep.
So that's interesting. Oh, there's another
Another tidbit.
like
Yep.
the DEW.
Nuggets of knowledge.
That's right.
Yes.
This has an undisclosed mash bill, but I found that it has 4 grains. It's a high percentage of rye. So I don't know. Use your imagination. What 4 grains? We say corn, rye,
Malt.
malt.
Wheat.
There you go. Non-age statement, so it's got to be at least 4 years
Correct.
aged.
Correct.
And I found on the website that it's anywhere between $40 and $45 a bottle. Now I did check this out on OHLQ and I could not find it. So I surprise, on OHLQ. So, Ralph, this might be something you see in New York. So
Yeah.
if you like it,
Grab it.
grab it.
If you, well, try it first.
Yeah, well, I said if you like it, grab it. Yeah.
And the things I've been seeing over the week. Now, I didn't do any research on this.
No,
but
I appreciate
I
it.
do watch a lot of other whiskey shows just to see what they're doing and
Sure.
seeing what we can do or if we can do anything better. But I watch a lot of other whiskey shows, and there's several other shows out there that have done this bottle. And this bottle was another one like Travelers that people either loved it or they hated it. So I'll be interested to see how we do on this one.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if I said it's 120 proof. Did I mention that?
I think you did.
So it's a little higher in proof, close to what we had last week.
Right.
I know we gave last week some
Last
very
week's-
high scores.
Last week's was very, very
so
special
that's going to
bottle.
be hard to beat.
But this one right now, just based on the nose,
It is. It's good.
I will
No.
say the scores that I found on the different websites, different reviews, they scored it between a 94 and a 95. So they gave it some pretty
Wow.
good scores.
Yeah.
So I see you're already going into the
I've
nose.
got to, man.
So this is a dark,
The
another
dark on
dark
that
one.
is beautiful. The
Yeah.
color is amazing. The legs are great.
5 char. Awesome. I love it already.
It has a really, really good nose to it. I get the Sazerac BT
Mm-hmm.
scent to it.
You can definitely tell it's out of that distillery. I mean, it's got that Kentucky sweetness right off the nose, where it's like sweet corn, very sweet corn.
I don't get the rye on the nose.
No, not at all. For being a higher proof, there's hardly any ethanol burn.
I'm not getting that at all.
Any ethanol at all.
No.
Yeah, I'm not getting any ethanol. at
I
all.
would never guess just by smelling it.
No,
Usually
absolutely
I
not.
sit there and I'm like, whoa.
I want to say that I get a little hint of cinnamon actually.
I tell,
Yes, that's cinnamon. Yeah, cinnamonish. Yes, very much so.
Just faint, but I get it.
I'll tell people to pour and wait.
Amen.
That's what we
Just
that-
like a wine.
That's why we put these out on purpose for a
Let
half
it sit
hour
for a little, yeah.
and let it sit and rest.
I say pour it and wait, and I
Yeah.
found totally different. So I'll sit there at cigar night and pour it, and people go. I said just wait a few minutes, just don't jump into it. Then I said smell it, and then they're like, wow. I said now pour it right away and smell it. Totally different.
Right.
Now, are you like G when you take your own Glencairn glasses up to the cigar place?
No, I just we just whatever.
Oh, rookie move.
Dixie cups.
No. We're not sophisticated. Right? We got
they're drinking
we got
Kentucky
retired
bourbon.
cops
We're-
and firemen.
We're about to change the whole group of your stuff up
The
new.
Viking Cigar Club is going to learn
Let
something
him
new.
learn you
I was going to
something.
tell you guys what they did was we actually do fundraisers
Right.
for police and fire that have been killed, and
Right.
so that's what we do. So we'll have cigar lieutenants come up from other clubs, and what we do is we'll sponsor other clubs come in, and what we'll do is we'll have a food brought in, cigars, and some people from cigar shops, which it's really great. So what will happen is if something happens, they're the first ones on the scene to the families and give them a check. So
Nice.
that's something that we do along with it,
Sure.
which is something we wanted to do.
Give that cigar club a shout out, the address, if you got the address, or just where their general location is, because
Yeah.
that's something you want to support.
So
Good guys. I met a lot of those guys, believe it or not. I met one at Royal Havana,
Nice.
blah, 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 and whole 9 yards. I wanted to do something for those guys, and I need to get the label. So, and I'll put that together for you guys for a bundle of cigars.
Yeah, and you have an open invite too.
I
so
do. Thank you.
It's only an invite, so you're,
I hear you.
you know,
Yeah, thank you.
well, maybe you. I don't know. We'll
You
just
got-
A little something in my throat there, yeah.
A little sketchy.
We'll
on
do
the
it.
side here.
We'll do our thing.
So let's get back
I'll
to
have
the
to
nose.
I'll have to bribe some people.
Let's get back to the Wolcott.
All right, let's go.
The nose, Jimmy. What do you have a glass over
Yes, he
there?
does.
Yeah, I don't taste any, I smell any ethanol.
You don't get any ethanol either.
I get a little apple.
You get apple. I will say, and this is not a bad thing. It's one-dimensional to me. I'm not getting a whole lot. I'm not getting like a bouquet of different things hitting me. It's just
It's not
To me-
grassy. It's not earthy.
Just getting like the sweet corn,
Yeah.
just
Yes.
the sweet corn, sweet wheat. It's just
It is a sweet smell. For
it's
sure.
very pleasant.
I agree.
I'm ready to drink it.
All right. Well,
Okay, well then let's get into that.
let's do it. Well,
Let's get into this.
Well, you guys go into it. Now, I will say that the notes that I had to pull off are not off an official website like I usually try to get. But the nose notes that I have say honey roasted mixed nuts, salted caramel, vanilla custard, and candied dates on the nose. So,
Well, I don't get it on the nose, but I do get it on the palate. And honey for me is forward.
the first hit is awesome. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, go
The
ahead.
excitable girl. That was the first one was nice.
So I do get that honey. What else was on there?
On the nose, honey roasted mixed nuts, salted caramel, vanilla custard, and candied dates. I think you were going to say the candied dates.
No, say that again. Sorry.
Honey roasted mixed nuts.
Okay, honey.
You just
I
wanted
get
me
the
to
honey.
say honey roasted mixed nuts again, didn't you?
Nose and nuts.
These nuts.
Salted caramel, vanilla custard,
Vanilla.
and candied dates were on the nose.
I'm not getting the dates. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute, and I'm gonna hit it again.
I would have said fig,
It's got a little heat to it, but it's not
but
over.
fig and a date are
And you
real
said what
close.
was the proof on that?
120.
120.
It doesn't drink like a
No,
Not
wine.
at
not
all.
at all.
I would say if
This will knock you on your butt.
Oh.
This is one of those things where I've sipped it for 3 hours, just smoking a cigar. At the end of 3 hours, I'd be like, yikes.
it's kind
It
of
catches up to you.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's a long finish, but it's close to a long finish. But
Agree.
I'm just like,
It's
this is
good.
one of those that I'd be sitting at the bar just like this, like I normally would, because this one just smells so good. And believe it or not, it actually tastes better than it smells. I mean, it's hard to believe, but I think it drinks wonderfully. You get that nice, sweet honey right off the palate.
it's
There's
definitely honey,
honey. And then you get like a date or a fig type flavor, consistency. The tongue feel is very nice and medium. It sits on the tongue. The finish is short but pleasurable. It's not really a long finish.
No, it's good.
It's right there.
Yeah, you're right.
I think one of the things that we had talked about last week too, and Cheese had brought this up about the Woodford, the 121. Even though it is high proof, it doesn't burn going down, and neither does
It's got warmth, but man, it doesn't stay. It doesn't
exactly.
have that pit in your stomach.
No,
you know?
this is even like under your tongue, where your tongue is more sensitive. You're not getting the burn and the tingles like you normally
It's
would.
sweet.
It's sweet.
It is sweet.
It's very sweet, and it's
I don't want to say candy, but it's got
no,
that.
it's
candied
a brown
something.
sugar,
it's almost
honey,
a brown sugar. Go ahead.
molassesy brown sugar. No, I mean that's exactly what it is. It's
That's that. That
It's
sweetness. That's
quite
good.
delicious. I mean, you're not getting, and I'm not getting the typical. There's not the char. You're not getting the oak. I'm not getting any of that. But I am getting a vanilla butterscotch type thing.
And look at the legs on it.
Oh, it's-
I mean, they are from the tip to the bottom of the glass. It's
I could say butterscotch.
But this does have the Buffalo Trace signature notes, if you will. You can get the undertones of that in there, and it is like a 1792.
what do you call this, dear? LPR?
LPR, liquid panty remover. Guys drink too much, they get a BDR, bad dick report.
Wow!
I told that to Lisa. I thought she was going to fall down.
Oh God! From one of our sponsors, yes.
Ralph, what are you getting out of this one?
I'm getting it's a little heat.
Drunk.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
I'd say it doesn't drink like a 120.
It doesn't. It really
doesn't.
Maybe 100 proof. I'd say it drinks more like 100.
100,
proof.
105, I would say.
Okay.
It's, I would probably, if I put a cube in it,
Okay.
it would cut that down. So for
Jimmy, we can get you a cube.
That's
yeah,
right.
but
Jimmy Chips.
So what I would do is, if I was going to drink this all night, which would knock you on your butt,
All night would be about 45 minutes, right?
Oh.
about a half hour. About a half hour.
He'd be sleeping on the
Yeah,
side.
exactly. So what I would do with this is I would go through. I said, okay, for me, because of the proof, I would go. If I didn't know the proof, I would say it was about 100, 105. Mm-hmm. So
Agreed.
that's a good thing. Then I'm also getting the notes on it. We were talking about and I'm going through it. It's very mellow.
100%.
Very mellow.
Yeah,
so
it's-
so for me, I would be drinking this again. Depending on if I didn't have cigars and stuff right now, I'd probably get a whole new light.
Oh, God,
but it's
yeah.
not. It's something that I would drink. So it's not something I would sit there and go, "Wow, it's just too hot. I don't get anything out of it." There's something more to it. But I can't get it right now. So it's because I've had 3 cigars today. So it's sort of like my palate's a little bit messed up. But me, I would drink it and I would give it more time. So I would probably come back to it. It's one of those things I sit there and go right away. I would come back to it and say, okay, if I tried it with a cube, what would it be if I toned it down for me? But I'm also not a high proof guy too.
Right.
So I go through and I had a little burn, first taste. Then as I came back and experienced more, then I got more flavor.
Well, I add a little water to that. You know, I cleansed my palate before. You know, I started the cigar. I stopped that, and I just threw that little bit of water in there, and I would say that is date for sure.
Date. Okay.
The more I'm drinking of it, the more I'm getting the roasted nuts, stuff like that. You're getting like the aftertaste after you had a couple of peanuts or walnuts in your mouth where you're chewing them and then you swallow them. You get that little after flavor.
Sure.
That's the kind of flavor I'm getting out of that, and it's
I agree
very
with that.
pleasurable.
And sometimes a little bit of, I tell people, sometimes a little bit of water will open it up even more.
Sure,
Yeah.
100%.
And I'll go through that. And I use a cube because what I'll do is it'll slowly give me the water through it.
Yep.
Jack Daniels is a great example because I was talking about it earlier. Jack, I would sit there and cut it with soda because it was too hot. Mm-hmm. So I would, and what would happen is I would go through it. More for me, it was more drinkable because I would drink, for hours.
Right.
If I was a Mardi Gras or whatever, Jack Daniels would be one of the bottles that go through that. So the whole day partying. So I would go through that and experience that. So, and you guys know how I am. I'll drink even with Angel's Envy. I'll go through that, and certain times I'll sit there and go, well, it's a little bit, even at that proof, a little spicy with it, and I'll go through it. If I put a cube in it, depends on my mood. If I'm slow drinking, I'll be like, if I'm pushing a little bit, this I can't push. Because at the proof, I'm sitting there going, no. I would take it nice and easy because I know the proof.
Oh, this is definitely a good bottle to share.
Yes.
I'll say, and I'm sorry, but when you were talking and I took my first sip, I could not help but say out loud, "Wow!"
It's good.
Because it's creamy, it's sweet,
Yeah.
it's smooth, it's for 100. And again, going back to what you were saying, Ralph, 120 proof. It's not. I would
Right.
never ever think that that's where it's at.
It pairs nice with the cigar.
Jimmy, what do you
What do you got, Chips?
I got, my palate's different, I guess. I got a lot of heat.
You got a lot of heat.
But-
Okay.
Coming from the
as
Scotch
you-
guy.
When it went down very smooth.
Okay.
It is
So
smooth.
heat
It
up
is.
front.
Yeah.
Heat up front. I was like,
It wasn't a peppery heat either. It was just,
It was just kinda-
it
yeah,
was like
just
an
kinda
ethanol. It was ethanol heat.
Yeah.
It wasn't a
Like a
flavor. It was just a
cinnamon-y or
temperature.
an ethanol?
I wasn't expecting that when I
Right.
when it had such a nice on the nose. So when I drank it, I was like, wow. That's...
Exactly.
But then, like the second or third sip, it was like, okay,
Smooth out.
Yeah.
Smooth out.
Smooths out. Yep.
Nice.
And that's something you always say is you do 3 sips
I do.
because it
On
will
purpose.
change on each
Absolutely.
one.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You get used to
So
it.
again, that builds your palate. So we pre-drink before the show, and get our notes and do our stuff
a
that
little
we
bit.
put together. But at the end of the day, I'm a big fan of 3 taste, if you will. All right. So, and you will, and that first drink, and the second drink, and the third drink, then that's where all the good stuff comes, so to say. So.
I'd like to put. Can we put an ice cube in there?
Go,
Sure.
go do whatever you want. It's
There's
yours.
nothing wrong unless you're bringing Coca-Cola. Forget it.
You got
But
your whole
anyway,
bucket of ice.
Yeah,
I
you
have
got
a
your bucket
bucket
of-
You got your
What
whole
else like
bucket, Jill. He's not only got chips, he's got a whole bucket of ice. He's sitting in
So-
the king's
so
chair.
There are no rules when it comes to what you want to do. It's just that anytime you taste something new, you should taste it neat.
I
A
was
drop of water and then ice. So that's the only rules that you buy. Then after that, you do with what you want.
I was out at a
Those are
client.
great.
I was out at a client, and for a claim and all the whole 9 yards. And on my way back, I stopped at my favorite place, Savers in Parma, because I was already past there. And I went in there, and I'm looking around, and me, I have all the stainless steel because I used to cater, and I see that bucket. And I picked it up like 3 times. I put it down. I pick it up again. I go look around. I come back. I pick it up again. I go, thinking to myself, that pail is for Jimmy, because Jimmy goes up the stairs while we're doing the show sometimes, and he goes, gets ice, comes back down, got a little cup thing, goes back, and I'm like, I got to get that for Jimmy. So here we are.
So those of you
today,
that
man.
can't see it, it looks like one of those silverware holders at a buffet.
Yeah.
It's just a
Or you
stainless
put-
steel silverware holder that you put all the
You
silverware
put your
in.
champagne in or
No, that's not even a champagne bucket.
No?
That's the silverware holder for
Oh,
like
is
at
that
the
what that
buffet.
is?
Yeah.
$3.49 is the best money I've ever spent.
Wow.
At least
you
it's not a-
spendthrift.
At least it's not a bedpan.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, we are getting older.
Hey,
Anyway.
it might be
The
later.
ice cube changed it for me.
right.
The ice
Don't
cube
you
changed it. I did
I
not.
put water. It did change it.
I
They
just
do.
put a little ice cube in.
Can
Yeah,
I try
perfect.
yours with?
I'm back with that Woodford from last week. I don't think I want to put anything in this one. I don't really.
I
want-
like it both ways.
I don't want to taint this
Not
one.
gonna
This
lie
one
to you.
is just really, really good.
I like it without the water. Without the water.
I think you and I have been like neck and neck on a lot of the tastings right now, and I am enjoying this one a lot. So
So let me.
Go ahead,
we're
let's-
we're running late
All right,
today,
go ahead.
and that's fine. It's
Yeah,
all
it's 'cause
cool.
of
But I
Ralph.
want to.
Ralph was shy.
I know, right? What'd you say, Jimmy?
I said, mine was 2 minutes. I mean, Ralph, it's a 45-minute show.
Hey,
Long story short,
Yeah.
Yeah, wait.
the rules are there ain't no rules.
I smell blood right now.
Do you want a tampon?
I left my. Oh, emotional.
wow! Thank you very much. This is the whiskey
I
roundtable.
live in Western New York, not the city. Not the city.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if you were Ralph Arena or.
Oh, my lord.
Oh,
Too
So
far.
anyway, on the palate.
Go
So
ahead.
the palate, they say the same as the nose, which is the
Okay.
honey roasted mixed nuts, the salted
I
caramel,
get the honey, but not the nuts. But anyway, go ahead.
vanilla, custard, and candied dates. But
I got that at the end.
right.
they are adding on the palate, which I think this is so unique, and I wish I could place it, and I can't. Mole sauce.
Oh, moly.
Oh, the Mexican sauce.
It's like chocolate.
Yes, it's like the
Like
chocolate
mocha,
mole.
if you will.
So what do you guys think? Do you get?
I got to tell you, I've now it's been 3-4 sips. This time I was like, I got it all. I taste it. I go through with it. It's a good drinker. Not for me. Not spicy. Like good. Now my palate's adjusted to it. Perfect. Not bad at all. Now
It's a good drink.
I don't know what the price points is, but I'll be
$45 a bottle.
So what happens is, if you had patience for it, this bottle will be good.
What do you mean patience?
If
Just
you
to build
To
your
go
palate.
through
build
the
it,
palate.
when you first sip it, you're gonna go through and you go, whoa, because people like a beer, taste beer, it's like
Sure.
So you have people that if you go through and you say, okay, wait, try it a couple times, 3 times, 4 times, then you're like, wow.
Right.
And I think that would probably that's a big thing.
Sure.
Because now you've gotten through the initial, now you're getting your flavor. Now you go through it. I'm like, okay, now it's like, okay, now we got a lot more flavor buds going through, saying, okay, this is really. Now I'm getting a lot of it.
It does.
Yeah.
It does keep
It
changing.
grows on you.
It does keep changing.
The first I'm like, then I'm like, then I'm like, oh.
I'm not getting the mole. I'm not really getting.
I didn't get the mocha.
I got
didn't get
I got
I can
tacos.
see it.
That's Tuesdays.
Oh.
That's Tuesdays.
I'm sorry, wrong show. I was on a different show on Wednesday.
You know, I can.
Wednesday's the other meeting.
Oh, okay.
I can see that
AA, I forgot.
You are stupid.
You're
Good.
in the dictionary under stupid.
Yeah, exactly. You got a lot of pictures on there, I gotta tell you.
I can only imagine. But they also say the palate, and I think we mentioned this, or you mentioned this, Bob, walnut.
Yeah.
Walnut and date paste. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I tasted on
Date
one
paste?
of my date paste, I don't know. Imagine like jam, like smashing it up.
Like a dried date where you just take the dried date and just eat the dried
haven't
dates.
had that before.
Well,
It's kind of like a fig Newton but better.
Okay.
I have figs upstairs. I love figs.
Yeah, if you dunk
It's an
your fig
Italian
Newtons in
thing,
your
yeah.
bourbon, it's good.
Come as a gami.
Can I jump in here?
Sure. Oh, here
so,
we go.
So on cigar night, Frank, my brother's name's Frank, but Frank is there, and his wife always has desserts, and I'm known to
eat 'em all.
dunk my dessert in my bourbon.
Nice.
Nothing wrong with that.
wrong
And
with that?
cakes in the bourbon. And everyone looks at me, they go, what do you think? I go, oh, this is awesome. Or this is, oh, okay. Well, this is, what do you got? I'm going to try this. And dig. I'm like, wow, this is really good. And people then try, they're like, wow, this is really, really good. It's really, sweet or whatever you have going on.
So he has haha desserts.
Yes. Well, it's,
We have to do what we have to do.
you know what? And sometimes I'll say I will dip the end of my cigar in the bourbon
Yep.
too, because I think that it
I don't-
really melds the flavors.
Yeah, we got other
together.
things we dip in it, but it's good.
I usually do that with like a Garcia Crystal. You put a couple of drops of bourbon in the bottom of a Garcia Crystal, take that $3 cigar to a $10 cigar real easy.
A Garcia.
Garcia Vega Crystal cigar. It's a real cheap cigar. But you put a couple drops in the bottom because they all come in an individual test tube. You put a couple drops of bourbon in the bottom of it. Yeah.
I think he's doing some Breaking
He's
Bad.
doing
No, but-
Mexican Garcia
So,
what?
okay, so we're gonna move on, but
Yep.
anyway, hold that thought. Magic Rabbit. I'm gonna send him home with a bottle of that
Okay.
Yeah,
because she
we do
likes
that.
to cook desserts.
Yep.
She gonna love that.
She'll love
Fudge, brownies, tiramisu. You make
that. Ice
that
cream.
chocolate peanut butter whiskey.
You have to give it to her. You have to give her the bottle.
Oh.
Come from
Don't
the
be
whiskey round
drinking it
table.
on the
way
don't
back
be
to New
don't be
York.
driving back and you're like, ah. Don't do any of that
And
stuff.
it's
I don't
really
make a
good.
face like that, but I
And it's really good to make haha coffee with.
Ha-ha.
Oh, it's ha-ha
You're
coffee.
gonna
Haha
love it.
coffee with that
You're gonna
chocolate
love
peanut
it.
butter. It's
You're gonna love
amazing.
yikes.
All right.
All right, guys, can I finish the palette?
Yeah,
Yes,
let's
please
go.
finish the
Are
palette.
we running way
Well,
over
there's a
now?
pallet going.
There is. I'm still trying to
Alright.
get through it.
All right, come on. We
So one
we
of
gotta
the-
get the
The
show.
Wolcott.
going.
One of the things that it
Mine tastes like more.
it said
Come
on
on.
the palate, which I tasted in one of my first sips, was maple syrup. But they
get it
say
now.
spicy maple syrup.
Okay.
So I think when I first
You
tried
syrup.
it, and I was like, wow, I could not control myself. It was very sweet, and I would say it is the maple syrup flavor. I think it's awesome. I'd put this on pancakes. They also say
Lego
caramel
Lego.
apple and almond butter.
I didn't get that.
But the butter part, maybe, and almond butter, possibly, yeah. But
Not caramel apple.
not caramel apple.
You know what? Maybe on the very first taste, because to me, the very first taste, it was so sweet. I could see that, but after continuing to drink it, it changes. The finish, they say, is a long, smooth finish with notes of vanilla and oak. Don't they all?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get any of that.
I
on
didn't
this
get
one.
any of that either.
I didn't either.
I still like the product.
But I think
It's
that's
very
like the
good.
basic three that everybody goes, you're going to get this, you're going to get that.
You're gonna get caramel.
The
you're
basic
gonna
three.
get, you know.
Everything has vanilla and oak,
Sure,
right?
everything's got a vanilla. I mean, you know, all oak is saturated with vanilla. But anyway, go ahead.
James on the scroll is saying it's kind of like Angel's Envy.
What do you think, Ralph? Because you're a big Angel's
Yeah,
Envy
that's why I'm
guy.
bringing this one up because
I don't get it.
I think maybe the first batch of Angel Envy, and maybe the first one or two runs, but not as of recent.
Right.
But yeah, it could.
I
It
could.
could.
I drank the Travelers after, and because of lower proof, and I brought that way out because now I had this and I brought something else. So if you went from a higher proof to lower proof,
Right.
it'd be like, wow, because this is like drinking water after this.
Right.
It is.
And there's
It
a lot of
is.
flavors going through in the Travelers. The same, I say it's, basically same company. And yeah, I mean, it just,
Well, that's actually really interesting that you're doing it because the Travelers was a 50-50 mix on the general population on that, and so is this Wolcott. Which would you like better?
so if I was starting out, I'd start out with this.
The Travelers?
And then- yeah, and then I would go into this, and then towards the end of the night, I'd go back to Travelers.
Okay.
So if I was, depending on what I was doing, and so tonight I said, well, let me try. I'll go back around, and I started out with Travelers, came with this, and then went back. And what I do is I'm getting a lot more notes on both of them now.
Awesome.
They're both Buffalo Trace products.
and I like Buffalo Trace products, as you guys well know. That's
A
one
lot
of
of
my
people don't
favorites.
know what's
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of the 1792 stuff.
Me
so,
too.
I mean, the 1792 is great pour for the price.
too.
But anyway,
All right.
So I already put my score in, and
Oh,
I already knew, like moments ago, not moments ago,
from the first sip of jubilation.
Yeah, but no, I didn't
Are you
like
giving us
go
you giving us the number?
on that instant. But I threw out a 4.3 because I
Wow.
think this is really good again, it's another high proof that doesn't taste high proof. And it's I like the sweetness to it, but it's not, and it doesn't burn. And that's
Yeah.
My turn.
who's
You
next?
can do Big G, he called it.
You said 4.3.
I did say 4.3.
I'm going with the 4.2. I've had this product many times.
Have you?
I have.
Oh, wow.
Well,
I like it. Well. Yeah, I have to hang out with me more often. But anyway,
Do I have to?
I do. I like the bottle. It's a great product. You know, us doing the show is a different way. Sitting down, which I've had many times, without the show, if you will, and we've had. It's been a great drink, and it's hanging out whole 9 yards. It's well worth the money. I do not get the proof that it is. It doesn't drink like that. I like the bottle. My palate is what it is. At the end of the day, I want that on my bar.
I will agree. I was at a 4.2, and before anyone else scores, I'm sorry. I was at a 4.2, but because of the price, I boosted
True.
it up because $43 is awesome for that price. So
I agree.
All right.
do you got?
I'll go next because, you know, you guys know me. I'm first time caller, long time listener.
How's your liver?
I'll tell you what. Being the first time that I'm having this product, just make sure that you got your seatbelt on because you know this one's going to be a 4.5 for me.
get the
Honest to God,
heck out of
honest to God, this is a
Dodge.
4.5 for me. I
I love it. I do.
I like this one a lot better than the Woodford from last week. I like that one a lot. This one, the flavors, the complexity, the color, everything that brings into it. The price point is the one that puts it right up in there. It's got to be on my bar, and it is a perfect bottle to give as a gift.
Yes, sir.
Oh
Yes, sir.
gosh, yeah,
And
that's
that's
such
always
a,
my extra little qualification when I do my ratings is would I give this as a gift?
that is such a great point.
Something that nobody would ever find or try. Go into it blind. Hey, I'm giving you this one. Try this one. I think that's a 4.5 every day, every minute.
That might
So-
be the highest score that
That's the highest score
given.
I've ever given.
So the reason why I'm not going to agree with you is because when my friends find out what that is, they're going to want to drink it.
Well, yeah.
I give it a 2.
They're 2 minus.
But to quote you, at the end of the day, the first time I'm having this one,
Yeah,
this is definitely a 4.5.
it is.
Much like, you know, when I was drinking Buffalo Trace before it came into Ohio, that was my top one because nobody else could get it.
Sure.
Angel Envy, nobody else could give it, so I would score it high. If I can get it on a regular basis, my score might drop a little bit, but I don't think it'd go anywhere below a 3.5. But right now, first time,
A 3.5.
yeah, a 3.5. If I was able to enjoy this all the time, it would. But first time having it, it's a 4.5
Awesome.
all the time.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna wreck this all through. So as I drink it more, I was at a 3.3, then I was a 3.4, then I'm at 3.4, 3.5, and I'm going when I bounce back and forth to 2, depending on where I'm at in the night, I'm still at a 3.4, 3.5. And the thing is, the reason being is I'm not a big heat guy, so for me, it's a little bit pushing it for my palate. And my friends, I'd be like, yeah, they wouldn't appreciate it. But I would sit there and I go, well, if I put a cube in it, could I drink it all night? Yeah. But I'm flavor, you know, I would say flavor is like a 4, 4.5. But for the heat, I'm going back down to 3s.
You really
Okay.
think you really get that much heat out of it?
Yeah, for me because
I don't
I'm
get a lot of heat.
Yeah,
out of it.
and for 120, it doesn't drink that way, but it's still there. So
Okay.
if I was probably mixing it with, if I had a cube in it, I'd probably go higher with it because it's a lot smoother for me. But that's where I would, and I don't, you know how I am. I'm really tough on the score.
Sure,
It's a type
sure.
thing. I don't think I've ever put anything at 4, 5. I'm just, it's very tough for me to go through it. I'm a bourbon drinker, but I'm very
You're
particular.
the Simon Cowell of the group.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh.
So when I go, I go between travel. Now I gotta tell you, when I went between Travelers and this, Travelers went up in my mind. When I was like first drinking, I was like, eh. Then
The more you drink it, the more you like it.
yes. So right now,
I like
I went up as I'm drinking it more. But
Okay.
you know, people say, well, it's a 120. Well, I'm like, yeah, but at the same time, I'm getting more flavors. So if you ask me tomorrow and I drank it, I'd be like, yeah, it'd be a 3.8. But it's really tough for me to go over 4 with it because I'm more down in the 90, 95 ranges. So I know how my palate is.
Good.
So-
Now, I'm glad because I can put that bottle away and not worry about them.
That's right.
Exactly. So
Hey, Rob.
I'm the Abby Normal one of the group. I've always been that way,
Oh,
as you
God,
guys know.
yeah.
So what did he end up scoring?
What's your score?
I gave him a 3.45
Yeah.
because
Okay.
he was like a 3.4, 3.5. So I put it right in the middle.
3.459?
No, it's so that's where
From
I'm
the
at.
Russian judge.
Exactly.
Oh. Okay.
So for me, that's where that goes.
It's a solid, respectable score.
And that's what I said. I go. I feel like Dan, was that Portney guy from pizzas? Yeah, I'm gonna do an 8.2. That's good, but it's like that's a respectable score.
Oh, Portnoy, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a respectable score for
One
bourbon.
bite,
I'm
everybody
like,
knows the rules.
yeah. So that would be something I would drink.
Yep.
Would I have it on my bar for the people that I know? For myself, I'd be like, I'd have to be in a certain mood for that. So, when I go through it's the lower proof, the 90, 95s, I drink those all day. This would be something for me that I'd be like, yeah, I drink it by myself.
This is a porch sitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Jimmy Chips.
Chips, what do you got?
I just, from a cigar perspective, I would give this is like an Opus X compared to a Padron for me.
Okay.
Opus X, a lot of flavor, a lot of boldness, a lot of complexity, but you got to take your time because it'll knock your head off.
Right.
You could smoke a Padron all day. So this is like, because of the heat, I would give this a 3.6.
Okay. All right. That's
A
respectful.
3.6 from Jimmy Chips.
All
And if
right.
you didn't hear him, he said it was because of the heat.
Mm-hmm.
He said you could drink this all day, but it would
Knock your head off.
knock your head off. Yes.
I win. Joris is on the scroll.
Joris, where you been, dog? Are you sleeping?
He's just a quick hello. He's at work.
All right.
Joris,
still love
work. We all have to do it. I get it.
I've got to tell you, I drink, I drank that, and I have a Hemingway. Hemingways are always too strong for me.
Okay.
Okay.
And I said, well, let me try these out. So I did shorties, and they're like $6-7 a stick, and I was like, they're 3-inch, 4-inch. And then I was like, yeah, I sort of like it, but it was always getting me buzzed on it, like cigars.
Sure.
As I smoke them, I'm like, they're very consistent, very, very good. And then I start smoking them more. And I started
Right.
smoking them more. This is one of those bottles that will grow on you, I think.
That's what I was saying. With
Yeah.
the Opus X,
Okay.
Yeah.
you know.
It'll grow on you.
The Wolcott would
Yeah,
grow
yeah,
on you.
yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a good product. That's one thing with the score. It doesn't reflect on what it is. It depends on what you're looking for. I think it's a really respectable score for me. And even when we talk Angel Envy and Jim Beam and all that, I'll go through
Right.
them out. You guys know I've scored in the 3s with those too. Is there something I've had 4, 5? And it depends on what you're doing with it.
I will say, I think it got stronger as I kept trying it.
It's getting more palatable. I'm enjoying it more the more.
I love it. I mean, I've had it many times. I
there's-
have nothing bad to say about that.
No, honest to God, yeah. I mean, for those of you guys that are naysayers, maybe you guys didn't let it acclimate enough. Didn't you guys just drank neck pours? Didn't try it. Go back, revisit it, try it again. 100%.
Yep.
Because it did make a difference.
Awesome.
A 4 or 5 score from you is
Yeah, I know.
awesome.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, price point.
The price is great.
I mean, just everything about that bottle is 100% right on spot for me.
But you can't get it in Ohio.
So we have friends out of state.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, Ralph? healthy.
That's the biggest problem I found with bourbons, is that it's like beer again. So you go through or wines, you can't get it everywhere.
Right.
So you get in Ohio, you can't get it in New York, you can't get it. So in Florida, I've been in Florida, and I said they're going, I found this, found that, found this, found that. If you can't get it readily, it's sort of like, can you keep it on your bar? No, because you can't get it.
Right.
Right.
There.
And price points for 40, 45, you can't beat this bottle.
Right.
For what it has, you can't beat it. So that whole thing, I said, I'm all in for it.
Yeah. It's in the bottle relocation program. You find it somewhere else and bring it here. Honest to God, that's where you put that one in.
All right, listen, we're running short here. What do we got on the scroll?
Joris did show up, but he's working.
Okay. All right.
He had a quick hello, but he has to run.
Okay.
And I think we have the same group.
Yeah, we got Jose.
We got Jose Padilla joined us. Jose, how are you? Hope everything is well.
Yep, and Rebecca was out there. Go back to the Facebook page. We have the bottle close up on the Facebook page. Like that one. Follow us there. Smash the subscribe on the YouTube channel, please. We want to get some viewers up here and keep the subscriptions going. What do I say? Comments.
Rob said
Yeah.
he couldn't find it up north at his regular stops.
There you go.
Nick T says,
Nick T.
if you can't get it, make your own and keep your mouth shut.
You are the man. You're the man, bro. Listen, I love him. I do. I love him. I do. He's such a great guy, man. I love hanging. Listen, I could hang out with that guy for weeks. I mean, such a good person. You guys ready to shut it down?
Yeah, just remember that we're going to be at the Bourbon Co-op on Saturday.
On Saturday.
Wild West thing?
The Wild West thing. We're going to try
Wild
doing a
West.
cigar thing up at Royal Havana in the next one of the next
Correct.
Wednesdays, couple weeks.
Yeah.
Other than that, let us know what we're doing right. The whiskey roundtable at gmail.com and or wrong. Yes. Ask for a sticker. We'll send it out to you.
Yeah, we got
Contact
new
us.
ones
Let us know.
too.
We got some new ones out there.
Some new ones.
I'm selling $50 a piece.
Limited edition.
Did I say that?
Ralph,
Oh,
thanks for being here today, man.
Well, thanks for
you
having
livened
me.
it up a little bit.
All right, man. All right,
Let's
kids,
roll it.
listen, we got to get the hell out of here. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. I am your host, Big G.
Karen Little B.
Bourbon Bob.
Sidecar.
Jimmy Chip over in the
Jimmy
corner.
Chips.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jimmy. Didn't mean to wake you up. I'm sorry. All right, kids, we'll catch you next week.
Peace and love.
All right, God bless. Bye-bye.
Go Guardians.
I love it. That was fun.
That was a good show.